Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session, habitat part 3. So what is habitat? The place where an animal lives, eats, grows and reproduces. A new definition is called its habitat. A place where an animal lives, eats, grows and reproduces. The habitat fulfills all the requirements that an animal needs to survive. The animals need food, water, shelter or cover and space for survival. An animal's habitat includes an appropriate arrangement of all of these items. What are those items? Food, water, shelter and space for survival. So children, today we are going to discuss about the adaptations. The adaptations in animals. The special characteristics an animal develops over time to help it survive in its own habitat is called adaptation. What is adaptation? The special characteristics an animal develops over time to help it survive in its own habitat is called adaptation. The animals have special skills to help them survive. They are able to get food, water, breathe air and protect themselves from the heat, cold and even predators. This is why some animals have excellent eyesight, others can fly and some others can even burrow themselves underground, isn't it? So let us discuss some of the important types of adaptations seen in animals. Some adaptations you can see here in this picture. An owl, it possesses an excellent sight even in the night. It is a nocturnal, active during a night time. See the ability of these wasps and honeybees. Okay, they can collect the honey from several kilometers and come back to their hives. That is the ability, that is the adaptation. So these animals here, they mingle with the surroundings. That is called mimicry. Okay, so adaptations for different purposes. Some animals shows adaptations for feeding. The animals eat plants and other animals, or both plants and animals. Feeding organs they possess, the beaks, teeth and mouth are modified according to the kind of food they eat. So based on the food adaptation, based on the type of food they eat, animals are classified into how many types which you have studied? Herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, isn't it? Next, adaptation for movement. The animals move from one place to another. This is a type of locomotion. The different animals have different types of adaptation for moving around. So adaptation on land. The land animals have long legs and a flexible backbone which increases the length of their stride. This helps them in running fast. You know, reptiles like snakes, okay, they crawl with the help of their short legs, whereas crawl example you can see the lizards and the crocodiles, they crawl, and snakes crawl with the help of their plates and scales. with the help of their plates and scales. If you see the adaptations in aquatic organisms, aquatic animals, the animals that live in water, they have streamlined body which helps them swim in water. Most fishes have fins for movement. They have both paid and unpaid fins. Okay, so the tail fin helps in changing the direction. Some aquatic animals, they do not have limbs. They move around by either changing the shape of their body or using several appendages, or even by floating on water. For example, several worms, snails, okay, cnidarians means hydra, and protozoans. So they adapt to live in the water. Adaptation in aerial animals means the animals which fly. Birds have adapted themselves to moving in the air, which we have studied yesterday. Their front limbs have turned into or modified into wings. Their strong muscles and feathers, hollow bones, okay, they help in. Their body weight is also very light. This makes it easier for them to fly. Okay, you know insects. So these insects like mosquitoes, houseflies, have one pair of wings. Their hind limbs or hind wings have reduced over the years. The wings have become halter and help keep their weight, keep their flight in balance. Okay, that's why they can fly easily. Adaptations in breathing also we have studied. Okay, in fishes, the animals need oxygen to survive. They take in oxygen from their surroundings and give out carbon dioxide. From their surroundings means the animals which are living on land, they obtain oxygen from the atmosphere. The aquatic animals, they utilize the oxygen dissolved in water. In water, many animals like fish breathe through their gills. A gill consists of a stalk of thin flaps connected to the animal's blood supply. The breathing organs in insects such as cockroach, wasps, grasshoppers are called spiracles. The spiracles are small air holes. Very small animals such as amoeba, paramecium, unicellular, they do not need any special adaptation for obtaining oxygen. The oxygen enters through body surface. For example, an amoeba, it is a unicellular animal. So by body surface, depending on the concentration, the oxygen enters inside and carbon dioxide goes outside. This process is called diffusion, simple physical process. Okay, oxygen enters their body through the surface of their bodies. And you know, some animals even migrate. The animal's migration is a relatively long distance movement of individuals, usually on the seasonal basis. It is found in all major animal groups, which include birds, mammals, fish, reptiles, amphibians, and insects. Some animals migrate to escape harsh weathers or, for example, shortage of food. But it is the most common in the birds such as white storks, spotted sandpipers, the great Siberian cranes. Okay, thousands of kilometers they travel. Okay, children. So this is about some migrations and adaptations. So today, So special adaptations we are going to discuss. Let us go through. Adaptations in animals for protection. Protection is very important in order to survive. So they adopt different methods. The animals are hunted and eaten by other animals. So they need to adapt themselves in different ways to defend themselves from their enemies. Okay? Adaptation is an attribute of an organism, either morphological, means external, physiological, internal, and behavioral. Okay, it is also group. This enables it to survive and to reproduce in its habitat. So these adaptations had led to the formation of some specialized and peculiar features. Okay, these features have evolved over a long period of time through the process of natural selection. Okay, adaptation is not a characteristic developed by a day or two, from generations. Okay, so migration, it is a seasonal movement of complete population of animals to a more favorable environment. Okay, here you can see the migration is one of the methods to protect themselves. So some fishes, they migrate. Okay, some fishes migrate from fresh water to marine water, and some fish migrate from marine water to fresh water. So that adaptation is called anadromous migration and catadromous migration, which you study in higher classes. So but here, to overcome the climatic changes, to protect themselves, they adopt a method called migration. Migration is a seasonal movement of complete population of animals to a more favorable environment. Next, migration is usually a response to lower temperatures resulting in a reduced food supply. It is the most common in mammals. For example, porpoises and fish, eels and salmons, and even in some insects. But this migration is most marked in birds. Several species are migrated of the mature adults for reproduction and for feeding, means for in search of food and reproduction. Also the migration takes place in the animals. For example, in some fishes like the cod, herring, hilsa, lampreys, and tunas, these are some of the examples of the migratory fishes. Okay, they migrate for different purposes, mainly for the food and for the spawning, reproduction. And some animals protect themselves by running away from enemies. Some animals can run very fast. For example, deer, mice, and zebras, they run very fast. The animals adapt themselves to their physical environment for food getting, for protection, and for survival. So another method of adaptation, I've seen the migration. The another method, second method, camouflage. Camouflage, some animals have developed the ways to merge their surroundings. They merge themselves with their surroundings. Then it becomes very difficult to observe or see these animals. This is called hide and seek. Okay, camouflage is a hide and seek mechanism. They protect themselves one side, and even they can attack their prey also. Okay, you can see here a owl. It is protecting, or it is mingling in its surrounding. It's a tree, so it possesses the color of a bark of the tree. Only eyes are visible here, such that it mimic, such that it is a part of tree, and it hide itself. And here you can see another very good example here, a lizard, to protect from the birds, predators. So it possesses the color of the skin similar to the bark. It is not visible. Unless you observe keenly, it is not visible. Okay? So this is the area. You can see a lizard. It is mimicking. It mingles with its surroundings. That is bark of a tree, trunk of the tree. And here another example, you can see a leopard. It also completely not visible, okay, unless you observe very keenly. In the grass field, the color of that leopard is mixed. It is also performing hide and seek mechanism. So it is not visible clearly to its predator, its prey. Okay, this is the predator and prey relationship. So this leopard and tigers, they also hide themselves and they attack the prey. So this kind of mechanism is called a camouflage. Camouflage is a hide and seek mechanism to protect themselves and to obtain the food. This is the mechanism help them to survive in its habitat. Okay. Next, the animals use different camouflage for defense and for protection. You can see different example in their top, a frog. It is protecting itself. Okay, it is also getting the protective coloration. It is a squirrel. It is also hiding for defense and for protection. Here another frog. See, like a stone it is. Okay, this is a kind of adaptation which help them to survive in particular habitat, in respective habitats. Camouflage is known as cryptic appearance. In some animals, the capacity to blend with the surroundings is a common adaptation. Okay, it easily blend themselves with the surrounding or the environment. Okay, it is a common adaptation. Some insects, reptiles, mammals, amphibians have marking on their bodies. Okay, especially the mammals, reptiles and insects, they possess a marking on their bodies which make it difficult to distinguish them from shadow and branches. Okay, this is an adaptation. Okay, adaptation for protection and defense. Some animals like opossums and snakes, they pretend to be dead when they are in danger. Acting. Okay, they pretend to be dead when they are in danger. The goldfish can blow itself up to twice its normal size so that it looks bigger and scares away its enemies. Okay, see, this is one adaptation. Some animals like rhinoceros and buffaloes, they stand and fight. They are strong enough. Okay, the wild buffaloes, and the rhinoceros, they stand and fight. The defense mechanism. You can see this is the opossum. It pretends to be dead when an enemy attacks, when it is in danger. Next, it is a fish. It is a globe fish. It blows itself up to the twice its normal size. Actually, it is very small. Okay, so it possesses spines and scary appearance so that the enemy can run away. Okay, for defense, this is the adaptation. Okay, next, mimicry. The resemblance of one animal to another which has evolved as a means of protection. Several king snakes look just like coral snakes. The zone-tailed hawk mimics turkey vultures to catch prey. Alligators, snapping turtles, use their tongues to capture fish. Okay. Young copperheads wiggle. They wiggle their tails to attract prey. Some animals mimic themselves as a form of protection. Okay, you see here. So different animal mimicry. Okay, the snakes look just like coral snakes. Okay, sea snakes, octopus. Okay, lionfish, the coral snake mimic octopus. Seems to be like octopus. Okay. Next, so these are all the adaptations which helps them to protect themselves and to defend the enemies. Alligator snapping turtles use their tongues to capture. Young copperheads wiggle their tails to attract prey. The zone-tailed hawk, a bird, it mimics turkey vultures to catch the prey. Okay, like this. Here you can see a lady bird. Okay, yellow jack wasp, hoverfly. It's a mimicking. Okay, the lady bird mimics spider. See, ladybug, spider. This is means imitating. Owl butterfly. You can see, observe here. This is the owl butterfly. It will because there are so many enemies are there birds which eat away. So it mimic an owl so that it can protect itself. Okay. So like that, it is a mechanism. Mimicry means the resemblance of one animal to another which has evolved as a means of protection. Hibernation. Hibernation is the condition in which the animals go dormant during winters by lowering their metabolic activities. Hibernation. It is also called winter sleep. This can be seen in reptiles, fish, and amphibians. Okay, this can be seen in the reptiles, fish, and amphibians. Even in the mammals also. A polar bear, it shows hibernation in very cool winters. Okay, when it extremely cooled. To combat the problem of food shortage during hibernation, these animals eat a lot of food and store in the form of excess fat when the conditions are favorable. This is simplified in the form of energy while sleeping. Okay, and hibernation is a winter sleep. During harsh winters, these animals, okay, they stop all their activities except breathing. Remaining all physical activities will be stopped and undergo sleeping. During that time, the reserve food materials, they break in the process of respiration, and the energy is provided and survive. Okay, so when the conditions are favorable, they eat more, and when the conditions are unfavorable, they undergo this kind of hibernation. Again, the period of hibernation may be varied from environment to environment. In polar region, it may be different. In some other region, it may be different. So according to that particular habitat, the animal will undergo the hibernation. Frogs undergo hibernation. These fish undergo hibernation. Reptiles undergo hibernation. Okay, and mammals, penguins, and these polar bears undergo the hibernation. Next, estivation. It is called summer sleep. Simply, summer sleep. Estivation occurs in animals living in the deserts and tropical regions. This is done to protect themselves from hot and dry climate and due to the scarcity of food and water. This can be seen in earthworms, mollusks like snail, arthropods means some of the insects, reptiles. Okay, reptiles means like snakes, lizards, and amphibians, certain types of frogs. Okay, they undergo estivation. It is called a summer sleep. The sole motive of estivation is to prevent water loss or dehydration and to save energy. Okay, it helps in prevent the water loss or dehydration and to save the energy. So here the snail. This snail, when the actually the body of the snail is somewhat slimy and sticky. So during summer, if it is very hot, what happened? It will make a burrows in the soil and enters into that and stop all its activities. Okay, to prevent the water loss or dehydration, and also energy is saved during these very hot or harsh summers. Okay, so this estivation occurs in the animals living in the deserts and tropical regions. This is a form of dormancy. Dormancy means inactive stage. Allows some animals to survive periods of high temperatures or drought during the summers. It is not just due to the lack of food, but the conditions are too hot and dry for the animal to survive. Okay, estivation is the summer sleep. It is not just to overcome the drought conditions, but also to overcome the hot and dry environmental conditions. Example, earthworm also undergo this estivation. Okay, see, it's making a burrow and stay inside. That's the reason why when it rains, these earthworms will come out when the burrow is filled with water due to lack of respiration. Okay, every animal try to survive. Okay, during their survival in a particular habitat, they develop some special characters. So those characters are called adaptations. Because the basic philosophy of life is to live, to survive. In order to live or in order to survive, some special requirements they have to fulfill, they have to develop. Okay, that's why natural selection. The nature selects those organisms which can fit to the environment, which can fit to their environment. Okay, that is called natural selection. Okay, Okay children, I hope you understood. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.